Do you have a dirty little secret? Welcome to the club.
And you're all invited.
The first rule of the Dirty Little Secrets Club is tell everyone about the Dirty Little Secrets Club.
We're handing out memberships, free of charge.
Step up to the VIP line and let Dayna and Brimstone take you on a weekly ride of secrets and debauchery.
Now buckle up, Buttercup, because things are about to get heated on the Dirty Little Secrets Club.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Dirty Little Secrets Club. I'm Dayna Pereira.
And this is Brimstone.
Brim, I know I got a lot going on at my house with all the animals, but I hear that you have like a little Disney movie going on at your house now.
Yeah, I think Danielle thinks she's Snow White or something because the house has been overrun with animals trying to give birth to babies in all our planters.
Aw, you're a maternity ward.
Yeah, we must have a good review on
Yelp and
Yelp
Google and
and what is that the one that people stay in the houses? What's that one again?
Airbnb.
There you go. We got an animal B&B going on because we call it, so for at least a couple of years now, doves keep finding their way into this one hanging basket that is in our back window, which is behind the living room, and like they just keep coming. It's different pairs. They just keep coming back and having babies there because it's a good spot. It's a safe spot, I guess. But like,
Well, it must be if they keep coming back.
yeah, well, for years we never had that happen. Then all of a sudden, it's been like one after the next after the next. They just keep reusing the same nest, adding to it. But then 2 days ago, we're like, what are all these bunnies doing hopping around? Like we have a lot of bunnies over here.
Yeah.
But it was like an overabundance of bunnies hopping on our
I know
porch.
how bunnies
So
get like that.
oh, that's true.
Bunnies were doing a
little something. But what happened was, what do you call it? We looked out and inside our tall planter, which I usually have. The reason why everything dies out because I put like tropical looking plants and so forth in, during
Those don't do well
warm
during
reasons.
winter.
No. Well, that's why it looks like it did when you looked at it, because I never took them out and they just shriveled. And now all the animals are in there, so I can't go in there and do anything yet. But anyway, so a rabbit found its way up into the top tier, the big tall one, and I'm pretty sure it put babies in there. So there's like a little nest that's covered up in there. So I'm assuming it put babies in there, and I don't want to go over and disturb it just in case.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they supposedly come back at least once or twice a day just to check on the babies and feed them. And because I haven't seen them since the other day.
Yeah.
But what do you call it? The nest is still covered, so it's not like it's an abandoned nest either. So
I'm gonna need updates. You need to get like a little hidden camera or something like that in there to see all of these things. I also want to know, like, are these bunnies gonna grow up and like make Danielle a dress or something?
It's possible. I don't know, not probable, but it is possible. Yeah, it's crazy because there's so much. We have like all different wildlife in our yard, and we've got a small yard. It's not like, we've got this ginormous yard. We're on the island. We're in, a very heavily populated area per se. And
Mhm.
so our backyard is a decent size, but it's not like ridiculous. So that being said, we've got everything. We've got the turtles back there. We had frogs back there. We've got because I have my pond. We had fish back there. And I think that a raccoon got to the last of them. What do you call it? But we have raccoons back there. I told you about how a raccoon attacked Danielle and Jasper.
Jasper.
Yeah, a while back.
Did.
Yeah, we've got possum. What do you call it? I've saved a couple of baby possum already. One of
Did they
them
play dead?
no. Well, one of them found its way into the trash can, and Dylan went to. I have a video of it. Actually, I can show it to you. Dylan actually goes to throw the trash into the can, and realizes there's something in there, and like freaks out and like runs away. But it was a baby possum, so I had gone out and I got the baby possum out, got it into a safe area. But yeah, everything, bunnies, all different types of birds, blue jays, cardinals, doves, oil birds. Like we have woodpecker. Like it's crazy. So I don't know what's going on, but I guess, like I said, we must have gotten a high rating from the Air Bird and Bird because um
Airbird and Bunny.
yeah, Airbird and Bunny. Well, better played. Better played. Craziness. So yeah, it's been real interesting. What do you call it? I love wildlife, so I'm okay with all of it. It's just bizarre because I'm going, what the hell made this bunny think that it was okay to just hop up into this planter and drop your babies there? Like I don't,
Yeah.
you know, I don't get it.
Ah. Well, last year, whenever I was in New Orleans, we were walking past this guy who had a pet possum,
Mm.
but they play dead, right? Like they just like go on their backs and let.
Well, they do when they're scared, but
Uh-huh.
normally, like if you've got possum that grows up being around humans, they're usually pretty good, and they don't freak out at all, and they're very, very sweet. Like
Well,
there's
his
a
possum's
possum.
name was Brittany.
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't remember what the name of it is, but there's a guy that always has the possum over at Sweetbriar, and
Uh-huh.
I pet that baby all the time. I fed the baby possums over at
Aw.
Sweetbriar. What was it, last year or something? It was so much fun, so
Well,
cute.
in complete opposite of that, instead of playing dead, did you hear about the woman who made her dead uncle or something play alive?
Oh my God. Okay. So yeah, this has been out for a couple weeks already. This woman, it kind of played like a Weekend at Bernie's kind of moment. You ever see
Yeah,
that movie?
love that movie.
And I'm pretty sure it was in Brazil. What do you call it? Somewhere out in Rio de Janeiro. She wound up she wheeled her dead uncle or dead somebody into a bank. It was an old guy who apparently just passed away, within however many hours, and brought him in and acted as though he was alive and just was not moving around, but he was going to help have him, quote unquote, him sign off on a loan for her to
30 was a
secure.
$3,400
Yeah,
loan.
it's not even like a huge loan, so I don't even know what this woman was thinking. And she was like talking to him like, "Uncle, are you listening? You need to sign the contract. I can't sign for you." There's a video. It's a video. She
Dude,
put
the shit that people do for money.
uh, she put she legit put a pen in between his lifeless fingers, and what do you call it, and was saying, "Sign so you don't give me any more headaches. I can't take it anymore."
Oh
This is
my
this is stuff that she was
God.
saying. Like I don't know. I don't. I again. I don't. I didn't do a follow up on this, so I don't know what happened with this woman. I'm assuming she was arrested like hugely. But what do you call it? It was revealed that he was about 68 years old.
Uh-huh.
And what do you call it? He'd been dead for at least a couple of hours before she took him to the bank. Like, I wonder if it was very important that she was expecting to get this loan, and then he woke up, and she woke up, and he was dead, and was like, "What am I going to do? I need this money."
So she
Like,
wheeled him into the bank and was like,
yeah,
well, good on the banker though for being like, something seems off here because you have to be of sound mind to be able to sign off on stuff like that.
right,
So, and
right.
she's like, no, he just doesn't talk. He's just always like this.
Oof. Meanwhile, like, why? What? Wouldn't it be disgustingly and smelly? And because a body starts to go through all that whole process,
Especially in
you know,
Brazil. It's like hot and humid there.
yeah. Oh, oh my God.
Or
Not
like
good.
rigor mortis. Like what he was just
Yeah.
like stiff.
Well, he was stiff, so maybe the gases weren't out yet. Like how I don't know how long it takes for like the body to, but not that I want to think about it, but if he was dead for a couple of hours in the heat and then bringing him to a bank, and that this woman is crazy. And for $3,500, like if you were doing like $35,000, I'd be like, okay, well, the woman obviously needed some money. But she must have been like, how hard up are you that you only need it for 3,500? You're gonna, do something so stupid. She's facing bank fraud, what do you call it, charges, theft, embezzlement, and abuse of a corpse.
Oh my God.
Like how? Meanwhile, I don't want to touch any dead person. Even a loved one, I'd feel a little weird. Like I don't. It
Oh,
creeps
see,
me
I'm the
out.
opposite. I'm like, I mean, not, I don't think that I had or we had talked about it on here, but my stepfather passed away a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I was the opposite. I was like, I just wanted to hold his hand. Like I would just sit there at the cat, just holding his hand. So I'm like, I guess it depends on how much you love the person, if you want to
Yeah.
touch him or not.
Yeah. Yeah. When my mother had passed away, it was already at a bad point where it was just not a good situation. So I didn't get that opportunity.
Yeah.
So, so for her, maybe I would have, or,
Yeah,
so,
same with my dad too. My dad
yeah,
and my stepdad both. I was like, I just wanted to hold their hands,
yeah.
but I did not want to put a pen in between their fingers and make them sign off on a loan for me.
No, why? Why would anybody do something like that? Like craziness. And again, for just a small fee. For me, that's a no for me. No.
Well, and
Me
to think that she thought that she would get away with it too. Like that's where I'm like, where's the disconnect? Is this woman all there? Are the lights all on? Because she like thought that she would get away with it.
Now here's my question. Do you think that it is better? I mean, neither is good, but do you think it would be better to, try to steal from a bank the way she did it,
Uh-huh.
or and try to rob her at gunpoint? What do you think is like the smarter move there?
I feel like both are not great.
Neither's good. Neither one is good.
Neither is good.
So apparently there was an 85-year-old woman who a guy broke into her house, and what do you call it? He handcuffed her to a chair. All right. But she was able to, I don't know if it was before she was handcuffed or she was able to get herself out. I don't remember the details. I mean, I can just look at it here, but she wound up getting a hold of her handgun and she hid it in the couch near her. And what he called when he came back and he threatened her again to kill her, she pulled out the gun and shot him. He shot back at her, and I
Oh my
think he
God.
actually hit her too, but he wound up he's dead. What do you call it? She killed the guy. she killed the guy. What do you call it? It's let's see. She told him that there were two. Okay, here it is. She the guy had asked her where the valuables were located and placed his pistol against her head and then made numerous threats against her. She then told him that there were two safes downstairs. So he went downstairs to rummage through the several rooms. While he was downstairs,
She got her
she
gun.
apparently, what do you call it? She apparently dragged the chair that she was handcuffed to her bedroom. That's how she got the gun. Got her 357 Magnum revolver, okay, from under her pillow. Then went back to the living room, hid the gun between the armrest and the cushion of a couch, which is where she was seated, which is what I was saying.
Yeah.
All right. And when he came back, what do you call it? She made the decision that it was now or never. She drew the gun, shot him twice, shot him twice. What do you call it? And then he returned fire with a 9mm pistol and hit her a couple of times in several parts of the body.
Oh my
Then
God.
he went into the adjoining kitchen and then wound up dying from his wounds. She fell to the floor while handcuffed, but her son, I believe, was in the house, and her son was is disabled. He was
Uh,
disabled.
yeah.
So I think that the kid somehow
The
helped
son.
her, yeah, something
I
like
mean,
that,
she's
or
85 and she has a son. I don't think that he's a kid anymore.
but a disabled kid, somebody
Yeah.
that couldn't necessarily take care of themselves.
Right.
My grandmother was in her 90s, and what do you call it? My uncle, my uncle Eddie, he was living with her the entire time. He never put him in a home or anything. He always lived at home,
Yeah.
and she was in her 90s, and he passed away at the house. He was I can't remember how old he was, but yeah, like he couldn't be on his own,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
and
definitely.
she died a few years after that, because that was, her baby. But so this woman Yeah, she must have been taking care of him. It was like, you know what? It's now or never. I'm gonna do it. So it was, I think it was self-defense. I don't know if she's gonna be hit up for murder, but I think
No,
it was
she's not.
self-defense.
They are not pressing charges. They called it a justified shooting, which, I mean, in my opinion, sounds pretty damn justified. She was handcuffed to a chair and the
Hmm.
dude had a gun. So, yeah, that feels like self defense to me. Dude, she is a badass.
Oh yeah. Well, it says here, okay, so it says that she fell to the floor while still handcuffed. She called 911 about 10 hours later when the son gave her the phone. That's what it was. So she was sitting there
Wow.
shot, probably bleeding out. What do you call it? And they had to provide life-saving measures to her. But 10 hours she sat and waited, until the son apparently came and found his way there and made the phone call or handed her the phone or whatever it was. Crazy.
That is insane. And it's what's really funny is this guy probably walked in there, looked at this 85-year-old woman and thought, piece of cake. I'm going to fucking rob her. I'm going to take her shit out. Who knows if he was going to kill her or not? Probably.
What an asshole though. You know what I mean? Anybody, first of all, anybody that would want that goes into someone else's home, does the home invasion shit.
Mm.
First of all, they deserve to be dead. My opinion. You take it, leave it. I would, if anybody comes in my home, I will maim you and you'll never find the body. I will tell you that right now.
Well, no. Let them find the body. You just call the cops, you know? They came into your
No,
house.
no. They don't deserve. They don't deserve. If they come into your home, they are ended. End of story.
Well,
And it's
no, but
not
I'm
legal.
saying
It's
that
not legal
don't
to kill
hide the
somebody.
body because then it looks like you're doing something wrong. You
Oh,
should
I
just,
see what you're saying.
take care of business and then call the cops.
Yeah, but it's illegal in New York to do
Uh-huh.
that. So what do you call it? Like technically, you're not supposed to. If say somebody comes into your home in New York, and they stub their toe, all right, or they trip and break their leg, they can then sue you, even though
Uh-huh.
they were breaking into your home.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so no, not a good thing. Anyway, but speaking about stupid people, stupid men, you were telling me about this guy that was arrested after saying he went to Starbucks drive-through naked to see pretty girls.
I am actually shocked that this didn't start off with Florida Man because it sounds like a
Ah!
Florida Man story.
Ooh, this is true. This is true. No
But
offense to our Florida
it's
listeners.
not a Florida Man, or is it? I don't know. He's an Oklahoma man. It's not Florida Man this time. It's
Like,
Oklahoma Man. And this guy was known at the Starbucks. His order was a large iced Americano. And
oh,
employees knew anytime they heard large iced Americano that this guy was going to roll through naked. He's a self proclaimed exhibitionist. But dude, don't fucking force people to look at your wiener.
first of all, your wiener's probably too tiny for them to see it anyway. Second of all, why the hell, if they knew that this person came and did this, why wouldn't they call the police the first time he came through?
I,
Right?
I I don't know. Maybe maybe it was a joke for a while. I don't know.
Well, he's obviously a joke coming through the freaking drive-through naked. I
Yeah.
mean, like if it was a social media stunt that he was trying to pull or whatever, that would be funny. You know what I mean? Like once, but it's still disgusting because nobody should be able to see something like that. You know what I
Well,
mean?
he was arrested. Well, my son, who was, I don't know, 17, maybe 16 at the time, was working at a restaurant. And I think we actually got a dirty little secret similar to it at one point. Didn't we have a dirty little secret where some guy was jerking off in a booth or something?
Oh, I don't remember. Maybe,
Well, I just
maybe.
my son told me about a guy that they caught watching porn in a booth. I don't think he was jerking off, but I think you and I ended up with a dirty little secret maybe a year ago or something where somebody was either jerking off in a booth or in a bathroom or something. I mean, we've had so many jerk off stories.
Yeah, so many, like ridiculous amount. Here it is. If I was a woman who worked at that Starbucks
Uh-huh.
and somebody came through, which is probably why he ordered it iced, and somebody was there naked, I would have grabbed one of the hot coffees and poured it right through the window, right into his freaking crotch. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Go learn your lesson, then call the freaking cops and be like, this is what happened. I didn't mean to throw the hot coffee on you because you know what I mean? It was just a knee-jerk reaction.
Whoopsie, I spilled.
Yeah,
Oops.
yeah.
Sorry
Unreal.
about it. Sorry about
Unreal.
it. Yeah, I
Like,
mean, you want to be an exhibitionist? Fine. Do your thing. But do your thing in a place where it's safe for exhibitionists to be exhibitionists. Don't do your thing where you are forcing your genitalia onto my eyeballs or to anybody else's eyeballs or to children's eyeballs or to, like
anybody.
fucking just be respectful about it.
On top of that, apparently the guy was playing porn on his phone in the car. All
Ew.
right. And what do you call it? And not, on top of that, most of the people that are working in Starbucks are younger girls. They're kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
Teenagers, high school
That's just
kids.
disgusting, man. Like, stop. First of all, stop, looking at women like they're just pieces of meat. Like, that's first and foremost. It's just so disgusting. It kills me. What do you call it? But on top of that, to be disrespectful and to, for a young girl to have to see that, I don't even
Mm-hmm.
care if they're like 18, 19, 20, 21. That's still a young girl. They don't need to see that shit. It's not cool. It's not fun. It's not funny. It's not going to get you a date. All it's doing is it's scarring somebody who's going to feel some kind of way, you know what I mean, moving forward after witnessing this. It's funny, Danielle was telling me this morning, what do you call it, that there is a big thing going around the internet, and I'm not trying to change story or add another
Yeah,
story,
yeah,
but
go for it.
what do you call it? It's going around the internet, and you might have heard it, that apparently there was a question saying, what would you rather see if you were stuck in the
Man or
woods?
bear?
Exactly. And women across the board said a bear, you know? And I would say a bear, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I was for myself, for a woman, for one of my children, for, you know what I mean? Just as a man, even, I would say a bear
And
because
men are losing their
it's
minds over
ridiculous.
it.
I don't
Losing
get it.
their minds over
Well,
it.
we
Which
also know which track they're on, if you know what I'm saying. But
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And honestly, I mean, if I see a man in the woods and I'm by myself, I'm fucking scared. I'm gonna be
right.
scared. If I see a bear, I'm gonna be scared too. But I don't know. I think I might just
A bear
back up
belongs there.
slowly from yeah,
A bear belongs
exactly.
there.
Yeah.
You back up slowly. Chances are, unless there are cubs around, the bear's not coming near you.
Yeah.
Unless it's cocaine bear, then it's all up to the memories.
Yeah.
But what do you call it? But here it is. You know me well. I am a big teddy bear if I know you and so forth. And most people know that I would never hurt a hair on a woman's head. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Never, ever, ever. But if you didn't know me and I show up in the woods and you're looking at me, you're sure as shit gonna be scared. You could be looking at me walking down the street, not know who I am and be scared.
Dude,
You
I
know what I
would be
mean?
thinking like, oh my God, what picture are they gonna use of me on Dateline?
Exactly.
Shit.
Right. Right. Because,
Yeah.
again, and I'm talking about myself. So sure as shit, if there's any male sitting and walking around the woods, he don't belong there. I don't care if he was taking a freaking walk or a stroll or whatever. It's just don't sit right. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I'd be like, listen, we took a walk the other day. We were in the park, which was wide open. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And there was a guy that was there that looked a little not so sane in my opinion.
Right.
So I sat there with an eye on him the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
The entire time because I had the girls with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to take my eye off this dude, and I watched and I continue to watch and he kept making interesting weird movements and I was right to pay attention. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So if you're one single woman in the middle of the woods and this guy is out there, shit, I'd be more concerned about him.
Well, I mean, I do a lot of exercising. I walk a trail quite a bit, and I am always like I take my AirPods out so that I can be highly alert. I
Mm-hmm.
constantly am looking over my shoulder. I'm listening for other footsteps coming towards me. I
Mm-hmm.
always have something in between my fingers so that if I need to use it, I mean, those are the things that I have to do to go for a walk as a
Mm-hmm.
woman. And so for somebody, a man, to be very upset that a woman had said that, I'm like, most men are like you. And they're like, no, we get it. It's uncomfortable. They'll cross the street. They'll do whatever to make a woman feel more secure in her environment. And then there's the guys that are like, fuck you. You know, those are the ones that I'm afraid of. It's you.
Mm-hmm.
You're the ones that think that I don't have the right to be afraid. You're the ones that I'm afraid of.
You're the problem. It's you. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's true. It's true. It's very true. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Sorry to sidetrack on that one, but
No, it was a
you
good
know,
sidetrack.
men being stupid is not cool in my book. And considering we're talking about men being stupid, what the hell's the deal with that guy who had an emotional support alligator and now can't find it?
It's like, what? Why is just like the Ninja Turtles going through my head? Like, do we have like a fucking ninja alligator now walking around sewers fighting crime?
Like, look, all right. I'll be honest. I had an alligator when I was younger. What do you call? I did. It was a baby. It was nasty as sin. Like, I
Was it
know
an emotional support
it was
alligator?
not an emotional support alligator. I couldn't put my hand near it. Nonetheless, what do you call it? Sit and have it snuggling with me.
Give you a hug.
But apparently, what do you call it? This guy, the alligator's name is Wally, and apparently, can't take it
Wally.
seriously. I can't take it seriously, Dana. It's
Wally.
called Wally. And it's supposedly helping this guy relieve his depression for over a decade. And apparently went missing during vacation in the coast of Georgia. So
You take him for a walk?
I don't know. I'm looking, but apparently it supposedly has a whole social media thing with thousands of followers. Must be like Wally the. I
So
don't know.
he was in a yard. And the thing is, I get it. I understand that there would be a huge social media following
Mhm.
for an alligator because any unusual pet that you're putting videos up or something like that's going to gain attention and
Right.
the following.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, an emotional support. I've had an emotional support burrito before. I've had an emotional support bottle of wine before, but
There you
alligator,
go. Even a dog, you got plenty of those.
plenty, too many. In fact, if anybody wants to adopt a dog and you're in SoCal, please hit me up.
There you go. You know what? You might even be able to. You should speak with them over at Halfway to Halloween.
I was gonna do that because, oh, did we mention, guys, that this coming weekend, May
Hmm.
11th and 12th for Brimstone, May 11th for me and Brimstone, um, we are going to be at the Halfway to Halloween Festival.
It's going to be so awesome. We're going to be signing out there, guys. The Dirty Little Secrets Club in full effect. You'll find us out in the wild. It's going to be amazing. There's so many cool things going on there. I think it would be cool for you to maybe
Maybe they'll
connect with
let me
them.
bring them and I can put their little adopt me bandanas on and have them sit next to us or,
That is so
like,
funny. What do you call it? You should speak to them. I think this is going to resonate with you, by the way. So the reason why Wally, going back to the alligator real
uh-huh.
quick, the reason why he got like a lot of popularity within the last year is because he was denied entry to a Philadelphia Phillies game.
Shut the fuck up. You tried to bring an alligator to a Phillies game.
But the fact that it's Philadelphia Phillies, I figured you would actually appreciate
What
that a little bit
the
more.
hell? People blow my mind. You can't take an alligator into a game.
They denied it from the ballpark. He had it. He had the gator on a leash with a harness, with his name on the harness, and he took him to the stadium, and they wouldn't let him in.
Listen,
Hold
there
on.
is no way that animal was certified as like Oh, I guess it's not a service animal. It's an emotional support animal. So, but still, that is crazy. It's
Yo,
crazy.
it has 34, almost 35,000 followers.
That
And
is rude.
the picture, it's Wally, Gator, and Joey, is what the thing is, what the thing, the
So you're
account is.
telling me in order to grow my following, I need to go get me a gator?
The Gator has a pair of sunglasses on it. Is the photo? I'm dying here. I'm dying here. I don't know. It's apparently been missing. He must have. It must be gone. 9 weeks ago was the last time they posted. So,
Well,
yeah, yeah.
sorry about it. Sorry about your gator. Why don't you
How
go get
crazy.
yourself
Oh,
I don't know, emotional support sloth, or I don't know, Komodo dragon, or
listen, baby sloths are real freaking cute. Have you ever
I
seen them?
love sloths are my spirit animal.
Get out of here. That
I
makes
love
sense.
them. I love them so much. I just want to like lay with one and slowly eat stuff. And my husband laughs at me and says it also because I poop once a month.
That's now that I know your pooping habits, I appreciate that. Wow. Yeah, no, I love sloths. I really do. I think they're
Me
really cute.
too. They're
What do you
so
call it?
cute.
Eating really slow. They should have probably eaten slow at that wedding that you were telling me about.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they
So
wouldn't have gotten as crazy.
this shit cracks me up. Imagine going to a wedding. Imagine every time you go. Now, one of the things that was important to me whenever I got married was whether or not the food was good.
Oh yeah, of
Now, imagine
course.
you go to a wedding and 80 people get hospitalized and 100 people are throwing up from the
Oh,
food that you served at your
oh,
wedding.
oh my God. Was it the food or was it the water? Apparently, it was in Mexico, right?
It was in Mexico. Dinner was set to be served at 6 p.m. Um, Between 8 and 9, many of the guests started getting aggravated symptoms, headaches,
Oh,
stomach pain, vomiting, diarrhea.
diarrhea. Sorry, I had
Yeah.
to do it. Upset stomach.
Uh-huh.
What? How does it go? It's upset
Upset
stomach,
stomach diarrhea.
diarrhea. Sorry, sorry. I was trying to get. Okay, go
That's the
ahead. Sorry, I
memory
didn't
that
mean to
people
interrupt you.
have from the wedding. Could
Yeah,
you fucking imagine? It's not the happy day that everyone expected it to be. There was no dancing on the dance floor because the dance floor was covered in poop.
was it really?
I
That'd
don't
be
know. I'm just
amazing if it
making that
was.
up.
That's what. But see, that's what I'm visualizing. I'm
Yeah.
visualizing at one moment everybody's eyes just went, and then from this way, and then somebody just pulls their pants down or just pulls a skirt up and just
Like
like,
bridesmaids, they're just like in the bathroom in the
oh.
sinks.
Yeah, and then on each other and just the whole place
Bride
a
runs
shit
out
guy.
and just squats in her wedding dress.
Oh my God. Oy, 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 oy. That's I can imagine. I can imagine. But I've got to believe
Oh.
that it's the water. It's the
I, I
water.
I I thought that it was the food. You know what? Here's how unprepared I am. I look at headlines and I'm like, ooh, and then that's about as far as I go. I'm like, I look
Okay.
at a headline and then I have to go feed 17 dogs. So
No, but well, it was I'm saying like in Mexico, I would always think it's the water,
I've
but
gotten
what it
sick every time I'm in Mexico.
oh, that's not good. I wouldn't go to Mexico if I was you.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let me backtrack that a little bit. Every time I've been to when I've been to Cabo, I've been fine,
Mhm.
but Cancun, sick out of my mind.
That's
Whenever I went to
crazy.
the Dominican, which is not Mexico, I know this, but I went to the Dominican, sick out of my mind.
Wow, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Here it says that the what do you call it? The wild mushrooms had an aftertaste of a very strong chemical. And she recalls the same smell after she was sick. So that could very well be what it was.
Did I tell you about the time that I food poisoned myself with mushrooms?
No. No, you
So
did not.
this, I don't know, maybe a year, maybe 2 years ago, something like that. I like to saute mushrooms, like, just regular white mushrooms. I like to saute them, put a little Parmesan cheese on them, and just eat them. And I got one of those boxes.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Um,
Gesundheit.
Thank you. I got one of those boxes that where they send you fresh vegetables and stuff, and they
Okay.
had these mushrooms that I don't normally eat. It was like morel mushrooms, I think they were.
Okay.
And so I was like, "Ooh, I'll just saute up some mushrooms." Did not know that eating too many of these types of mushrooms is not good for you. And I
No,
ended
they're
up
not.
sick as hell. Sick
Oh.
as hell. Totally food poisoned my own damn self by munching a bunch of mushrooms. Not even the kind that like give you hallucinations. Just the
Would that have
kind
been
that give
okay?
you
That would have
fever
been
and
okay.
diarrhea.
You'd have been like, "Oh, I'm seeing things. This is cool. I'll live with this."
I could have been fine with those kinds. They weren't magic. They weren't magic, that's for sure.
Oh my
They were
God.
poop mushrooms.
Magic mushrooms. Oh my
Mm.
Lord. I can tell you a story about magic mushrooms. Magic mushrooms, not that I took, but I can tell you about who it was off air. But
Oh, okay.
oh
Tell me
yeah.
the story though. We
Yeah.
won't out the person, but you can tell me later. Tell me
It's
the
from
story.
New Orleans. I'll add them, but to you, I won't add them.
Yeah.
I'll swear. But guys, I think that's about all the time we have. What do you call it? I think we had a couple of interesting ones this week.
We
Uh
sure did.
Yeah, and we steered clear of a little pop culture, so hope you guys appreciate that. What do you call it? We gave everybody in Hollywood a week of I guess a week off of being very scrutinizing in their mannerisms. But
We'll get
anyway,
you next week.
we'll get you next time, my pretty, and your little dogs too. What do you call it? Why don't you let everybody know the one rule of the Dirty Little Secrets Club Day?
Yes, guys, the first rule of the Dirty Little Secrets Club is to tell everyone about the Dirty Little Secrets Club.
We appreciate you. We love you. We'll see you guys next week, God willing. See you soon.
You think we want something from you, you got another thing coming.